Welcome to The Explainer. If you're a manufacturer in Sri Lanka, you get it. The daily grind, right? That constant juggle just to keep production moving. But what if you could swap all that chaos for some actual calm control? Well, today we're going to dive into a guide from ChaosHub that shows you exactly how to do that.
Okay, let's just get right to the point. If you're running a factory in Sri Lanka, I don't care if you're making t-shirts, biscuits, furniture, you name it, I've got a really important question for you. Is the heart of your entire operation, your factory floor, silently bleeding money?
Just take a second and really look at that number, 10 to 15%. According to the source, that's how much of your hard-earned profit could be just vanishing. Poof, gone. All because you're still wrestling with spreadsheets. And we're talking about real money here, lost to stuff like material waste, production delays, all those little fires you feel like you're constantly putting out every single day. Okay, so to tackle this, we've got to be super clear about what we're talking about. Look, your accounting software, it's great. It's fantastic for tracking money in, money out, basically what you buy and what you sell. But a manufacturing ERP, oh, that's a whole different animal. It's not about just buying and selling. It's built specifically for the messy, complex dance of actually making things. So, the big question is, where is all this money actually going? Let's dig in and pinpoint those hidden costs, the ones that come from running your factory on spreadsheets. And I'll give you a little spoiler alert, it costs a heck of a lot more than your Microsoft Office subscription. Really, it all boils down to this one core concept, material requirements planning, or MRP. You can think of this as the central nervous system, the actual brain of your entire manufacturing operation. Every single time an order comes in, this brain has to answer three critical questions. What materials do we need? How much of them do we need? And exactly when do we need them by? Getting this right, that's the difference between a factory that runs like a well-oiled machine and one that's just lurching from one expensive emergency to the next. Okay, so what does that actually look like on a typical Tuesday afternoon in your factory? Let's do a direct side-by-side comparison. The old manual way versus the new automated way. You're going to see the difference is, well, it's pretty stark. Now, before I even show you the data, just think about this for a second. A big, juicy new order lands on your desk. Fantastic. But how many hours, or let's be honest, maybe even days, does your team now have to spend hunched over spreadsheets, manually calculating every last screw, every meter of fabric, every single minute of labor, all before you can even think about starting production? Okay, now look at this. This is incredible. What takes 2 hours of soul-crushing, error-prone manual work becomes a 30-second, completely flawless calculation. This isn't just about saving a bit of time. This is about fundamentally transforming your factory from being constantly reactive to being nimble and agile. So how does this factory brain actually pull this off? Well, it's not some magic black box. It's actually a set of really powerful interconnected modules that work together to manage the entire process, from the moment an order comes in to the moment it ships out the door. Think of it like this. A proper manufacturing ERP has these 7 engines of efficiency all humming along in sync. It all kicks off with your product's recipe, right? The bill of materials. From there, it flows into production planning to schedule all the work. Then you've got shop floor control tracking everything in real time and inventory management making sure you never, ever run out of a critical part. But here's the magic. They all talk to each other. So everyone from the front office to the factory floor is working from the exact same up to the second playbook. To really get this, let's zoom in on that very first engine, the bill of materials, or as everyone calls it, the BOM. It's super simple, really. It's just the recipe for your product. So for a basic t-shirt, the BOM lists out every single thing you need. The 1.2 meters of cotton, the 50 meters of thread, the label, the bag. But it also includes the operations, the 5 minutes for cutting, the 20 minutes for sewing. It's the complete blueprint. And let me tell you, getting this recipe, this BOM, absolutely perfect is the foundation for everything else. It's how you can finally know your true product costs. It's what allows the system to automate all that planning we talked about. And it's how you guarantee that every single t-shirt that leaves your factory is identical and high quality. Heck, it even makes those dreaded ISO or buyer audits, dare I say it, almost easy. All right, enough theory. That all sounds great, but does it actually work in the real world? Let's find out. We're going to look at 3 real Sri Lankan factories that went through this exact transformation. First up, let's head to Katunayake, to an apparel exporter. Before they got an ERP, their team was spending a full 8-hour day every single week just on planning. After the system was in, that dropped to just 1 hour. 1. And on top of that, their on-time delivery rate shot up, and they managed to slash their excess inventory. So, what did all that mean in terms of actual cash? How about 2.4 million rupees saved, not just once, but every single year? I mean, just think about that for a second. The return on investment was so good, the entire system paid for itself in less than a year, just 9 months. Everything after that, pure profit, going straight to their bottom line. Okay, case study number 2. A food manufacturer in Negombo, they had a really painful problem. They were literally throwing away about 300,000 rupees worth of product every year because it was expiring on the shelf. So, they used their new ERP to start tracking expiry dates and switched to what's called a first expired, first out system. And the result? Just look at that. A 90% reduction in expired stock waste. 90. They practically eliminated a 300,000 rupee problem almost overnight. All right, and for our last example, let's go to Galay. We've got a furniture manufacturer who was caught in that classic vicious cycle. Constant late deliveries, which led to constant staff overtime. And the root cause? They were trying to track everything with slow, messy paper job cards out on the factory floor. So what did they do? They swapped the paper for simple tablets at each workstation. And just like that, they had real-time data. The results were amazing. Overtime costs were cut by 40%, and their on-time delivery rate soared from 78% all the way up to a world-class 92%. So you see, apparel, food, furniture, it doesn't matter what you make. The story is the same, and it points to one really powerful conclusion. This right here, this is the big picture. When you do this right, you're not just tweaking one little thing. You are fundamentally upgrading your entire operation. Material wastage gets slashed, your delivery performance becomes something you can be proud of, inventory isn't tying up all your cash anymore, and your defect rate? It basically drops to near zero. So, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, this sounds like something we need, the source material lays out a really clear 5-step path to get started. And the most important first step, before you even think about talking to a vendor, is to look inwards. Audit your own processes. Do the math and figure out exactly how much those delays and that waste are really costing you right now. And we'll just leave you with this final thought. Your competitors, not just in Bangladesh and Vietnam, but right here in Sri Lanka, they are getting faster, leaner, and smarter every single day. In today's market, this kind of efficiency, it isn't a luxury anymore. It's not just about boosting profits. It's about survival. So the only real question left to ask is, are you ready to compete?